I'm not completely healed, but I'm gonna continue to do this video, so let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a review of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. I think this is season 4, episode 1. Okay, so let's get right on into it. So the episode opens up with everything involving what happened in 2020. They're talking about the pandemic. They're talking about the Black Lives Matter rally, with everything that happened with Breonna Taylor and the other people that were killed by police officers. Like, they were talking about everything that happened and their opinions and their thoughts and just simply everything that went down with that. So after they recount everything that happened with the pandemic and Black Lives Matter, we get into Bow Wow. He starts talking about this Miami trip that he went on, where he spent all this extra money on a boat and all this other stuff that he was doing. And I guess he had a new album that he was playing. So then Shania, which is Jermaine Dupri's daughter, he calls her, and they starts talking about the happenings of the world, meaning, you know, the Black Lives Matter, the pandemic, COVID-19, everything else in regards to that. And they started talking about Angela Simmons and how Bow Wow wants to have a baby by her. I'm like, okay, so is Angela really going back and forth between Bow Wow and Romeo, or was it really a storyline like Romeo said it was on Growing Up Hip Hop LA, when he decided to cut a food and act like a little bitch last season on Growing Up Hip Hop LA? Inquiring minds would like to know that. So Ayana calls Bow Wow. She's sick. She just came back from a trip. She also went to Miami, and she's sick. She's coughing. She thinks that she has COVID-19, and now she has to go get tested. And Bow Wow is afraid, and he's shocked, and he just don't know what he's gonna do about that situation. It ain't really nothing to do. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have COVID-19, you just got to deal with it the best way you possibly can. That's all I can say about it. Like, I still feel like when I was sick early last year, I got sick, I think a couple of days after New Year's, and I was so sick. I had a fever, I had the chills, I had body aches, I had a sore throat, I was sneezing, I was coughing. I didn't really lose my sense of taste, but I really couldn't eat anything besides Jell-O cups. And I could barely walk. So when I went to the doctor, they never said what was wrong with me. They assumed that it was a sinus infection. That's what they assumed. They never just flat out said it was a sinus infection. They just said it may be a sinus infection. They never knew what was wrong with me at all. All they really did was give me 3 prescriptions and went on about their merry little way. And I had a cough that just wouldn't go away. That cough lasted me at least 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I believe that was COVID-19. A lot of us probably had COVID-19 before we even knew what the hell COVID-19 was. So that's what I think it was. Now, Da Brat, she comes out the closet and she's dating Judy. If you don't know who Judy is, she's the best friend of Super Scent and Tokyo Vanity. Now, Da Brat has decided to come out and live her truth, as if none of us did not know that she was a lesbian. We already knew you were a lesbian. We knew you were a lesbian when you came out with Baptized in the Fall. Keep forgetting I had 2 root canals. I can't be yelling like that. But girl, we already knew that you was a lesbian. We already knew that you got down with women between the sheets. We already knew that. We just didn't give a damn. We always wanted you to live in your truth. Girl, live in your truth. Ain't nobody gonna live your truth for you but you. So no, we didn't give a fuck about what you did in the bedroom. Like, we were happy that you came out and living your truth, but girl, we didn't care about that. You should have been came out. Then they started talking about the Black Lives Matter, and they started talking about voting, and I think that was a very educational conversation. I think that with everything that has happened over the last year, voting became way more important than it has in a while. Like, I have never seen an election so important since the one that we had with Obama. Obama was my very first election. His first term was my very first election for me to vote in. And I was happy to be a part of that history, to be to vote for the first black the first African American president in the United States. I was happy to be able to vote for him, and that me being a part of history, being that was my first time voting. So that was a great thing. And Black Lives Matter is Black Lives Matter. It's always going to matter. It's always going to be relevant. It's always going to make a statement, a standpoint, and that's all that really matters, okay? So Deb and Waka Flocka, they're having a conversation, and Iyanla calls her, and she basically lets them know that she may have COVID-19. So this whole episode is basically about Iyanla possibly having COVID-19, Black Lives Matter, and the pandemic and everything else. That's basically what this whole episode is about, child. So Hurricane is in the studio working, and he gets a phone call from Iyanla. And Iyanla confirms that she has in fact tested positive for COVID-19. He can't be around her. She feels like, I forget what the girl's name was, but she was around her. She expects her to go get tested. She says she feels like crap. She don't want nobody around her. And that's the bottom line. Hurricane is very upset. He's very worried about Iyanla, but she'll make it through. So this last scene was basically Bow Wow and his manager. And Bow Wow can't handle someone that's going to tell him the truth. And his manager here is telling him the God's honest truth at the end of the day. Bow Wow hasn't been relevant in music for quite some time now. The last album that he had was maybe 10 years ago. And I think he had the last hit song that he really had was that song, You Can Get It All. It sampled TLC's Baby, 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 and he had Jonte Austin singing on it. I think that was probably the last big hit single that he had. If big, it probably was a moderate hit, but that was the last time he had a song. He's working on an album talking about all of his relationships, and the manager said that it's not all that great. You asked the manager for his opinion on your record, and you're mad because he didn't give you the type of response that you wanted. You wanted somebody to baby you and tell you that the shit is popping when it really ain't, and that's not the way the shit works out. Like, you can't do that. Like if the shit whack, it's just fucking whack. And ain't nobody really checking for no Bow Wow album in 2021 anyway. No one is. I'm glad Lil Romeo ain't making no music. I'm sorry to say, but y'all, time has passed, to be quite honest, and y'all still got youth on y'all side. Honestly, y'all not that much older than me. Like, I'm 31. I'll be 32 next month. So y'all not that much older than me, but no one is checking for a Bow Wow and Romeo album at all. They were barely checking for Romeo when he was putting out music in his prime. So I don't know what you expect. The manager was really giving you real shit and you don't want to hear it. Like, you a clown to the industry. Ain't nobody gonna take you seriously. All people know you for is your shenanigans that's in the blogs. That's all the people know you for, and that's that on that, okay? So it is what it is. That's all I can say on that. With that being said, y'all, this is my review on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. I mean, it really didn't give me much. I mean, if this review was very short, then that's why it's very short, because it really didn't give me much. But I had to go ahead and give y'all this review because I know the nights that I did the review, well, the night that the show came on, we were interviewing Oliver. So I didn't get to watch it. But Friday, I was in pain and I couldn't do it. And yesterday, I was definitely in pain and I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I decided to do it while the pain is simmering down. It's still pain, but it ain't as much as it was to the point where I can't get in front of no camera. So I have a lot of videos to catch up on. It was this one. It was Chasing Atlanta. It's the come up. So I got a couple of videos to put on now for y'all so I can be caught the hell up, okay? So with that being said, you guys, I'm out of here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both will be at the bottom of the video. And I'm out here, y'all. Till my next video, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.